Welcome back to Robots vs. Vampires,
Yeah.
where we explore the coolest stories about sci-fi and fantasy. I'm Adrian Smith,
And I'm Julia Jones.
and we're so glad you could join us for this daily deep dive.
Right into a world of epic and unexpected tales.
We want to have some fun today as we try to separate fact from fiction.
Absolutely.
If you enjoy the show, please rate and follow for more awesome stories.
Yeah.
So today's story
Okay.
is about a vampire and a demon
Okay.
who team up
Uh-huh.
in present day,
Okay.
and they're running from hunters from both of their realms.
Oh, wow.
Can you even imagine
Yeah.
trying to navigate the modern world,
Right.
dodging both holy water
Oh, yeah.
and hellfire?
That's a lot.
It's a wild concept, but it really makes you think.
It does.
Could such an unlikely partnership ever work?
Yeah? Could it?
Our story opens in a dark, rain-soaked city.
Ooh, very dramatic.
Very film noir.
Yeah.
That's where we meet Anya,
Okay.
our vampire protagonist. And she's definitely not your typical brooding vampire.
Oh.
This one has a serious attitude problem.
Okay, so she's a little different.
And she's stuck dealing with Silas,
Uh-huh.
a demon she owes a debt to,
Okay.
thanks to a centuries-old pact.
Wow. Centuries old.
He gave her power.
Okay.
But the details of that deal
Right.
and just how deep that debt runs
Mm-hmm.
are a bit of a mystery.
Very mysterious.
What's interesting is that it quickly becomes clear that the hunters pursuing them
Mm-hmm.
aren't just interested in taking them down.
Oh, so it's more than that.
They seem to be searching for something much bigger,
Okay.
a gateway between the supernatural and demonic worlds.
Wow, a gateway.
And this gateway,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
could have huge consequences if it falls into the wrong hands.
Yeah, that's not good.
So we've got a seriously annoyed vampire,
Okay.
a stylish demon,
Right.
and a mysterious gateway between worlds.
Wow.
I'm already hooked.
Me too.
And the dynamic between Anya and Silas is fantastic.
It is.
She's all dark and brooding,
Okay.
constantly complaining about Silas's sulfur and bad decisions stench.
Oh.
But he just shrugs it off with a witty remark,
Uh-huh.
finding the whole situation rather amusing.
I see.
It's like a supernatural version of The Odd Couple.
I like it.
Think about it.
No.
These two ancient beings
Right.
trying to blend into modern society.
Yeah.
Do you think Silas knows how to use a smartphone?
I don't know.
Does Anya pay taxes?
Good question.
The possibilities for humor in that kind of situation are endless.
Endless.
It's definitely a fun juxtaposition,
It is.
but there's a real sense of danger here, too.
Right.
The hunters aren't playing around. They're closing in.
Mm.
And Anya and Silas need to figure out a plan.
They do.
Okay, so what do?
Yeah, what's the plan?
What's the escape plan when you're a vampire and a demon on the run?
Right.
Silas decides they need to consult a psychic
Oh.
named Madame Zelda.
Okay.
Anya, of course, thinks this is a ridiculous idea. But Silas insists it's their best shot.
Right.
A psychic.
Really?
Really.
Interesting.
The story describes her parlor as a mix of incense,
Mm-hmm.
velvet curtains,
Okay.
and an absurd amount of eyeliner.
Sounds about right.
But as outlandish as it all seems,
Yeah.
Madame Zelda gives them a crucial piece of information.
Yeah. Okay, what is it?
The gateway the hunters are looking for
Mm-hmm.
is linked to the Blood Moon Ball,
Oh, wow.
a super exclusive party at a club
Okay.
called the Crimson Club.
The Crimson.
Wait, so a potentially world-ending ritual is going down at a fancy party.
That's interesting.
The irony is almost too much.
Right.
And getting into this party isn't easy.
I bet.
Takes them 3 days.
3 days.
A whole lot of favors.
Wow.
And even a run-in with a chihuahua
A chihuahua.
to secure invitations.
Wow.
I can only imagine what kind of favors a demon has to call in.
Right.
Whatever
right.
it takes, right?
Yeah.
They eventually get into the Crimson Club,
Okay.
which is everything you'd expect.
Okay.
Smoke machines,
Yeah.
loud music,
Mm-hmm.
and a crowd of oblivious humans
Right.
completely unaware of the supernatural drama about to unfold.
Oh, boy.
It's the perfect setting for a showdown.
It is.
Talk about tension and humor all rolled into one.
Absolutely.
So tell me,
Yeah.
if you were in Anya's shoes,
Okay.
what would you be thinking at that moment?
Right.
Surrounded by clueless humans, knowing that a battle is about to erupt.
Yeah, what would I be thinking? The Crimson Club is a fascinating setting, isn't it?
It is.
On the surface, it's just another night of revelry for the city's elite.
Yeah, just a typical night out.
But beneath that facade, a conflict is brewing.
Right.
that could literally shatter the boundaries between worlds.
It's like a ticking time bomb disguised as a party.
Yeah.
So Anya and Silas are inside,
Okay.
invitations in hand,
Mm-hmm.
trying to blend in.
Right.
What happens next?
Well, Anya, ever vigilant, spots their targets,
The hunters.
the hunters.
Okay.
The story describes them with crossbows and vials of holy water hidden in their outfits.
Wow, very subtle.
Subtlety is definitely not their strong suit.
So I guess they're not really trying to blend in,
Not at all.
but they're not dealing with your average vampire slayer here.
Right.
These hunters are something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
They're from both the supernatural and demonic realms,
Okay.
which raises an interesting question.
Yeah,
Why cross over to the human world to open this gateway?
that's a good question.
Couldn't they do it from their own side?
I mean, you would think
That's a great point.
maybe there's something specific to the human world that they need
Right.
to activate the gateway.
Like what?
Perhaps a source of energy or a symbolic location.
I see.
The story doesn't explicitly say,
Right.
but it definitely hints that there's more to their plan than meets the eye.
So what's the plan for Anya and Silas?
Well,
They can't exactly walk up to the hunters and ask them to postpone the apocalypse, right?
no, they can't do that.
And remember,
Yeah.
they're not just dealing with one set of hunters.
No.
There are multiple factions at play here,
Uh-huh.
all vying for control of this gateway.
Right.
Anya's ready to end it all right then and there.
Really?
But Silas, as always, sees an opportunity for a little creative chaos.
Silas.
He even suggests they dance.
Dance.
Dance in the middle of
In the middle of a supernatural showdown?
Wow, that sounds like Silas.
That sounds like Silas.
Always ready for a little fun.
Always ready to add a little flair to a dangerous situation.
Exactly.
So picture this.
Okay.
Anya, all fangs and fury,
Yeah.
trying to blend in with the oblivious partygoers.
Right.
And Silas, cool as a cucumber,
I love it.
leading her through the crowd in a macabre waltz.
Wow, what a contrast.
Talk about being a fish out of water. Seriously.
But while they're navigating the dance floor, the
Yeah.
tension is building.
Uh,
This whole situation is a powder keg waiting to explode.
it is.
And explode it does.
Oh.
Silas uses a clever distraction to separate the hunters.
Okay.
And Anya seizes the moment to strike.
Wow. She's fast.
She's a whirlwind of speed and power,
Yeah.
taking the hunters completely by surprise.
That's Anya.
It must be pretty unnerving to face a vampire like Anya.
Oh, yeah.
She's centuries old,
Mm-hmm.
incredibly strong,
Mm-hmm.
and fueled by a deep, simmering rage.
Right. A force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
And she's not just relying on brute force.
No.
Remember that pact with Silas?
Yeah.
The story hints that it granted her abilities beyond those of a typical vampire.
Okay, so it's not just fangs and super strength.
Right.
But maybe some demonic magic mixed in as well.
It seems so.
That definitely evens the odds.
Definitely.
And while Anya's dealing with the hunters,
Okay.
Silas isn't just standing around admiring the chaos.
No, Silas is always busy.
Remember those questions about why the hunters came to the human world?
Yeah.
Well, Silas, being the resourceful demon he is,
Uh-huh.
manages to snag a clue.
What is it?
A silver crossbow inscribed with strange symbols.
A crossbow.
A silver crossbow seems pretty standard for a vampire hunter,
Right.
but those symbols could be the key to understanding what they're really after.
Exactly.
And just as Silas gets his hands on this potential clue,
Uh-oh.
the gateway the hunters have been seeking finally activates.
The gateway.
Hold on.
Wow.
We've got a vampire battling hunters,
Yeah.
a demon collecting clues,
Oh.
and now a swirling vortex of interdimensional energy is opening up in the middle of a fancy party.
This is crazy.
This is getting intense.
It is.
What happens next?
Things get even wilder.
Wilder.
Just as more hunters emerge from the gateway ready to join the fight,
Oh, no.
something unexpected happens. Silas, using a bit of demonic influence, manages to turn the hunters against each other.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah,
He can do that.
it seems so.
He can manipulate people's minds like that.
The story doesn't go into great detail about the extent of his powers.
Okay.
But it's clear that Silas is a master manipulator. He's able to subtly influence the hunters' perceptions, turning their aggression inward.
That's a pretty impressive feat even for a demon.
It is.
It makes you wonder just how powerful Silas really is.
Seriously.
And remember,
Mm-hmm.
he's not just powerful.
Right.
He's incredibly cunning and resourceful.
Yeah. He always has a plan.
He always seems to have a plan.
A trick up his sleeve.
So with the hunters battling each other,
Okay.
what happens to Anya and Silas?
Well,
Do they stick around to watch the fireworks, or do they make a quick exit?
well, Silas, being the pragmatic demon he is, decides it's time for a strategic retreat.
Of course he does.
He grabs Anya, and they make a daring escape through a conveniently opened fire exit.
Of course he has an escape rope plan.
Silas is always one step ahead.
But escaping the Crimson Club is just the beginning, right?
Right.
There's still the mystery of the gateway and those strange symbols on the crossbow to unravel.
You're absolutely right.
This is just one chapter in a much larger story. What do you think this all means for Anya and Silas?
Yeah, what do you think?
Are they truly free from the hunters? Or is this just the eye of the storm?
Good question.
So Anya and Silas made it out of the Crimson Club.
Yeah, they did.
With at least one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
That silver crossbow Silas snagged. It's safe to say things didn't go exactly as planned.
For anyone.
For anyone involved.
The hunters are in disarray.
Yeah.
Their plans thwarted. And they're probably not too happy with each other right now.
No, probably not.
But Anya and Silas aren't exactly celebrating either.
No, I guess not.
They only managed to delay the inevitable.
Right.
The gateway is still out there,
Yeah.
and the threat it represents hasn't disappeared.
They're dealing with forces far bigger than themselves.
Much bigger.
Caught in a conflict that spans centuries.
Wow.
And possibly even different dimensions.
What I find fascinating is that the story doesn't paint either the vampires or the demons as inherently good or evil. They're both complex.
Right.
With their own motivations and agendas.
They're not just one-dimensional.
No.
The hunters, too, are more than just stereotypical villains.
They think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
They believe they're doing what's necessary to protect their world, even if their methods are ruthless.
It's a reminder that every story has multiple sides.
Absolutely.
And what seems like a simple conflict on the surface can be much more nuanced when you dig deeper.
Exactly.
And it makes you think about the choices we make when faced with impossible situations.
Right.
Anya and Silas, despite their differences, are bound by this ancient pact.
They have to work together.
They're forced to work together.
Right.
To rely on each other, even if they don't always see eye to eye.
Their partnership is a study in contrasts.
It is.
Anya is all about pragmatism and survival.
Yeah.
While Silas seems to thrive on chaos and amusement.
That's Silas.
But somehow, they find a way to make it work.
They do.
Their dynamic reminds us
Yeah.
that sometimes the most unlikely alliances can be the strongest.
I like that.
It's about finding common ground even amidst conflict. And recognizing that we all have something to offer.
Right.
Even if it's just a sarcastic quip.
Or a well-timed distraction.
The story ends with Anya, ever the realist, acknowledging that this fight is far from over.
But it's not over.
They may have won this round, but there will be more challenges.
More challenges.
More hunters.
Okay.
And more threats to their world.
But there's also a sense of hope.
There is.
Anya and Silas have proven that they can overcome incredible odds.
They have.
They've learned to trust each other.
Right.
To rely on their unique strengths. And to face danger with a mix of grit and humor.
It's a powerful message for us all.
It is.
Even when faced with darkness and uncertainty, there's always room for a bit of wit, a spark of defiance, and the strength that comes from unexpected partnerships.
Well said.
And who knows? Maybe someday we'll see Anya and Silas team up with a robot.
That would be interesting.
Now that would be a story for the ages.
You never know what might happen in the world of Robots vs. Vampires.
That's true.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
As we explore this thrilling tale of an unlikely alliance.
It was a good one.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of vampires and demons, be sure to rate, follow, and share the show.
And until next time, remember to keep those fangs sharp.
Yes.
And those imaginations running wild.